Yeah, jazzy. This is exactly, feel your pain in some aspects. I saw some of the other videos, but this one is into response of being rejected by my own people. And as you can tell, I probably sound a lot like you. But yeah, I grew up in the suburbs too. I'm a lot older. I'm actually 37 years old. I live in California only by choice of job, not by desire per se. And California's okay. Actually, I do want to ask you one question because you know what's funny? I'm thinking about moving to Atlanta, and the way I talk. The first thing too is that fuck the other shit about and I'm gonna be frank with you about being accepted by other black people. And I don't know. I haven't lived there in Atlanta. I hear a lot of great things about Atlanta. I hear about a lot of business opportunities in Atlanta. That's one reason why I'm going there. I specialize in multimedia and computer kind of industry. That's my main thing. If you look at my page, you'll see that, and you can tell by this character here. I do things with video games, comic books, graphic novels, things like that, and some mainstream stuff that is here in Hollywood, and side projects, just little stuff, not major, but working on their websites and things like that. Uh, as well as some other things as far as promotional material and events. But I want to kind of start and break out on my own, and I thought Atlanta would be a good place to go, even talking like so. Anyway, I feel your pain growing up. I had the same experience because my mother talks like me, but she gave me the strength to endure. So, first of all, to anybody who does, make fun of the way you talk and ridicules, because I had the same thing happen to me. Fuck them. Seriously, you have to endure. You just have to endure, and it breaks my heart to see how sad you are because you seem like a very upbeat and positive sister, which I absolutely love. And we need more of. And I do not want you to become bitter and hostile and disillusioned. You know, I did read some of the other comments, and I saw some of the videos, and that one of the comments said that they noticed that you said a couple of places else that you might want to move to, or like white places. Fine, that's okay. Do you want to move here out to California? I don't know. To me, it can be a personality situation that you had a bad trainer. I've had bad trainers of all races. Whether they be Asian, whether they be white, or whether they be black. But I do honestly feel your pain. And that you do not need to court black people. Yes, I'm going to say that. We are only 14% of the population. For you to live and to breathe and to have a house and a complete life, with your child, you do not need to actually do everything and have your whole entire world to be black or African American. You really don't. That's a choices. That's a conscious choice that you have to make. Myself, because of the nature of my business, I wear a mask, which most black men and black women have to do. More black men have to do it because of our stereotype. What I mean by that, we go to work and we put on a mask, like a face and a suit, and we go and do the job. But when we come home, we're more African American. We're more black. You come into our house, you'll see black art. You'll see, you'll hear black music. You'll see, our different style dressing than it was in the office place. And it happens with me too. Yes, I like some things that are white. I like a lot of things that's Asian. That's just my makeup. If you don't like it, fuck you. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mentality. You do not need to court black people. If you want to be involved, you have to realize that you're gonna have to give up some of the things that you grew up in the suburbs, like myself, and to be along with black people. But you don't actually need that per se to function in America. You know what I mean? I predominantly live in an Asian area, and I'm usually the only black person. There are other black people that I deal with. Um, it might not hurt for you to actually kind of pretend to talk like them. You know what I mean? It is something that I had to accumulate over time to kind of fit in. You know what I mean? But it's not necessary to court black people. For example, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods isn't black enough or things like that. He lives in a completely different world. But you hear all kind of comedians, you hear all kind of celebrities, you hear the news, you hear all these different people bring him up because of his race, of his ethnicity. Same thing goes for Barack Obama. Barack Obama, to my opinion, did not court or particularly stay core central to African American people, and look how things turned out for him. And there's other examples too of people being in business, being in the medical, and just to let you know, my mom and my dad are both in the medical field. My mom's an RN and my dad's a respiratory therapist. So I can relate to a little bit of your story about training and things like that, because they've given me stories about when they were in college and things like that. And yeah, it's funny. And other races will treat you a little bit differently depending on the situation. You know what I mean? I know this for a fact with Asians. Asians actually will treat certain ones, I can't say all of them, but I mostly notice with the Japanese in particular that they will treat outsiders a little bit better than their own. My own personal opinion here in Southern California. You know, so will the Chinese to a certain degree, you know, just my personal opinion. It's because they want to show you what they know. They don't want to hide it per se. You know what I mean? If they feel like you're taking them seriously, they will happily show you whatever secrets they have or whatever techniques they know. They're actually glad to show you because you're sharing an experience with them. So I do not want you to give up. If you have any advice for me moving to Atlanta, I would really like to know if my talking and my interests are going. I already know it's going to be different. I already know, but I'm not looking there to start. You know what I mean? That I need to hang out with 200 black people. If they're all into the same niche that I'm going in my industry, sure, that's great. You need to find like-minded people no matter what race. I know it's going to be hard sometimes because it's hard for me sometimes when you're the only black person and you're the only one listening to this kind of music, like this kind of food and that sort of thing like that. But but you will be happier doing that than be attacked by your own people, and I definitely know about that, as you can tell by the way I talk. And I just say fuck them, because I believe black people can do anything on the fucking planet. We have black astronauts, male and female. We have black scientists. There are black people in Russia. There are black people in China. There are black people everywhere, right? And we can talk and say and do anything like anybody else. So fuck them for being stupid and being... Actually, they're beneath you. I hate to put that whole card down, but we need to evolve. Seriously. But not everybody evolves the same way. Anyway, I'm done. Sorry for all the cussing, but it does make me mad. It brings me back as well. And I don't want you to... like I said earlier, become bitter, become sad. And I can tell there's some real pain behind that. And I went through my days asking my parents. Well, mine was probably actually worse, because I actually used to get in fights for the way I talk. Dudes would try to beat me up, but I became a dirty fighter. I'd pretend to be hurt, and I'd grab a rock and, throw it in their eye, hit them in the nuts, whatever, run away, hit them with a trash can top. Anything I could do and run away. I was a dirty fighter because... dudes would try to jump me, and I would do some crazy shit just to fight, and then nobody wanted to fuck with me because I was the proper dude, the dude that talks white and shit like that, who was fucking crazy because you don't know if he's gonna stab you with this pencil in your ear. You know what I mean? I hate to say that, but it was just more extreme for a guy, and other guys who know what I'm talking about can relate. Anyway, respond back if you do. Later.